want to touch on this topic is because I am so overwhelmed and concerned with the number of women that are putting themselves online for public consumption in a sexual manner. Now, I realize that, there's nothing wrong necessarily with being flirty, but where I get concerned is where I see content where women are just completely focused on their exterior body. They're not addressing their minds at all. They're not addressing wanting to become more intelligent, wanting to study, wanting to pursue, aspirations in terms of careers that are intellectually challenging and stimulating. There seems to be a void of that. And I'm really concerned too because it seems that a lot of the content that is popular is that physical appearance content, that I don't want to say OnlyFans content, but it seems like that is really the stuff that is monetized, the stuff that women are getting paid to do. And it's very short-sighted. I think everyone goes through a phase as a woman where they are focused on their exterior appearance and they do see that that is generating a certain amount of interest and value, and so they might completely focus on that. And I'm not trying to suggest that there's something wrong with wanting to have a nice appearance. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that there are certain things that should be reserved for your intimate partner and should not be put out there for public consumption. You might be getting rich in the process. You might be getting very wealthy in the process, but a respectable man is not going to be okay with you doing that. And he's not going to have interest in you knowing that you do that. He might feign interest. He might take his shot. He might get what everybody else is getting, at a very low cost. But he's not going to want to make you his partner. He's not going to want to pursue that with you. And if that's a goal that you have, then that short-sighted gain financially that you have from doing things like OnlyFans, from doing things like selling yourself short for public consumption, it's going to have a long-lasting impact on your overall health and well-being. Women need to embrace the fact that we're not going to be in that market indefinitely. So even if you're in your 20s or 30s or even 40s and that's the market that you're in, you have to know that at some point you're not going to be able to maintain that. It's not an indefinite thing. And so I get concerned when I see women doing that because I know that that is a limited outlet for income. Much in the same way a sports player, like a football player or something like that, has like a limited window where they can really successfully do a certain sport because physically as they age, they're not going to be able to do that anymore. Their body is just not going to facilitate them being able to do that. I also want to talk about the fact that women in that sort of industry have a much lower life expectancy. If you don't believe me, research it. So you're trading fleeting temporary wealth for years off your life. And I want you to ask yourself what really has more value. I'm not trying to talk about this topic from a place of judgment. What I'm saying comes from a place of having made my own mistakes and also from a place of love and understanding and compassion and wanting desperately for women to see their inherent worth and value and that it's not all based upon the exterior. Please grow your spiritual discernment. Please do what you can to excel in your creative endeavors, in your business endeavors. Do what you can to establish a path forward for you that will carry you through to old age. Because if you make decisions on temporary greed, it's going to backfire in the long run. And I don't want to see women missing out on opportunities for happiness because they've made decisions in their 20s and 30s that have kind of set them up to be viewed a certain way societally and have closed a lot of doors of opportunity for them because of decisions that they chose to make, not thinking about the long-term ramifications of those decisions. And I also want to talk about the fact that if you surround yourself with males that condone that sort of thing, they are only seeing you as a financial resource. I don't care what they say. They are seeing you as a way to get ahead financially. And I guarantee you that once they use you as a bill to Barbara, and they get to a certain level, they're going to dump you because they do not respect you. And once they dump you, you're going to be devastated. I don't want to see you used and abused by people who are taking advantage of the fact that you are willing to put yourself on the clearance rack online. I really want more for you. I hope that you can take this constructive criticism as it's intended. It is intended to help you see the bigger picture of what you're involved in. And you can think whatever you want to think about my opinion of this issue. I have seen many women absolutely destroyed in this line of work, and I don't even really want to call it that because I don't think that it's a reputable or respectable line of work. I think that you should challenge yourself to be more, to become more. I think you should study harder. I think you should do everything you can to excel. Will you face obstacles in that process? Absolutely. Because society doesn't want you to pursue those challenging intellectual goals. They actually want you doing what you're doing now because they're also profiting off of it. People that make that sort of content, if you actually honestly believe that you're the only one profiting from your content, I guarantee you it's not the case. You are being victimized through that as well. I've never seen it go any other way. And that type of activity is a slippery slope that can often lead to very devastating outcomes. I think you understand what I'm saying. You engage in one sort of behavior and then you think, well, I can do that. So then it escalates and it escalates and it escalates. And before you know it, you're in a life or death situation. So I want you to consider very carefully what your life is worth. Because we see every day so many women are killed. And especially in a line of work like that. And it's not even taken seriously. People don't bat an eye about it. They don't really think about, what was her state? Why did she end up in that situation? Most of the time, people are very surface when it comes to people that lose their lives in that sort of environment. I'm just sharing this because you can think that you're self-empowering by doing this sort of thing, but the bottom line is you are clearance racking yourself, and you are also clearance racking other women's inherent worth and value by selling yourself at such a low level and not having respect for yourself in the way that God intended for you to have respect for yourself. Please know that I love and care about you, and I am praying for you, and I hope that you will have a wake-up call from this video and you will stop engaging in that sort of content. God bless you. I hope